Chapter 5 Panchayati Raj. It's a special day today. Everyone's rushing to get to the Gram Sabha. Do you know why? Because the Gram Sabha is holding its first meeting after the election of the new Gram Panchayat. The people of Hardas village are keen to find out what their new Panchayat leaders have planned for the village. Gram Sabha. The Gram Sabha meeting begins with the Panchayat president, who is also called the Sarpanch, and the members of the Panchayat, the Panchs, presenting a plan on repairing the road that connects the village to the main highway. After this, the discussion moves to the subject of water and water shortages. A village called Tijia begins the meeting by saying the water problem in Hardas has become very acute. The hand pump water has gone well below the point up to which the ground has been drilled. We hardly get any water in the taps. Women have to go to the Suru river, which is 3 kilometers away, to get water. One of the members suggests piping water from the Suru and making an overhead tank in the village to increase the supply. But the others thinks that this will be expensive. It's better, they feel, to deepen the hand pumps and clean the wells for this season. Tijia says this is not enough. We need to do something more permanent as groundwater levels seem to be going down every year. We are using more water than is seeping into the ground. Another member, Anwar, then tells everyone that he has seen ways of conserving water and recharging it in a village in Maharashtra, where he had once gone to visit his brother. It was called watershed development, and he had heard that the government gave money for this work. In his brother's village, people had planted trees, constructed check dams and tanks. Everyone thought this was an interesting idea, and the Gram Panchayat was asked to find out about it in detail. The next item on the agenda for the Gram Sabha is the finalization of the list of people below the poverty line, which had to be approved by the Gram Sabha. As soon as the list is read out, people begin to whisper. Natwar has just bought a color TV and his son has sent him a new motorcycle. How can he be below the poverty line? Surajmal mutters to the person sitting next to him. Saroj says to Sukhi Bai, how did Virju names get onto the list? He has so much land. This list should have only poor people. And Om Prakash is a landless laborer who can barely make ends meet, yet his name is not on the list. You know that both Natwar and Birju are friends of Amir Chand, who can counter Amir Chand's power, Sukhibai says. Amir Chand was the earlier Jamidar of the village and still has control over a lot of land. But we should get on Om Prakash's name put in. The Sarpanch, Panchayat president, notices people whispering and asks if anybody has anything to say. Saroj tries to provoke Surajmal to ask about Natwar and Birchu, but he keeps quiet. Amir Chand is sitting in the Gram Sabha keeping an eye on everyone. Then Saroj gets up and says that Om Prakash's name should be in the BPL list. Others agree that he and his family are very poor. The Sarpanch asks how his name had been missed out. The teacher who did the survey of BPL families says Om Prakash's house was locked when I went there. He may have gone somewhere to look for work. The Sarpanch gives instruction that Om Prakash's family income be looked at, and if it is less than what has been decided by the government, his name should be included in the list. The Gram Panchayat. The Gram Panchayat meets regularly, and one of its main tasks is to implement development programs for all villages that come under it. As you have seen, the work of Gram Panchayat has to be approved by the Gram Sabha. In some states, Gram Sabhas form committees like construction and development committees. These committees include some members of the Gram Sabha and some from the Gram Panchayat, who work together to carry out specific tasks. Let us see what the Hardas Gram Panchayat was able to do. Do you remember the options that were suggested to solve the water problem in the Gram Sabha of Hardas village? When the Hardas Gram Panchayat held a meeting, This point was brought up again by some of the members. This meeting was attended by the Sarpanch, ward members and the secretaries. Gram Panchayat members first discussed the suggestion to deepen 2 hand pumps and clean 1 well so that the village would not go without water. The Sarpanch suggested that since the Panchayat had received some money for maintenance of hand pumps, this could be used for completing this work. The members agreed and the secretary regarded their decision. The members then went on to discuss the options for a long-term solution. They were sure that the Gram Sabha members would ask questions at the next meeting. Some punchs asked whether the watershed program would make a substantial difference to the water level. A lot of discussion followed. In the end, it was decided that the Gram Panchayat would approach the block development officer and get more information on the scheme. 3 levels of Panchayats. After reading about what happened in the Gram Sabha and the Gram Panchayat in Hardas village, you can understand that the Panchayati Raj system is a process through which people participate in their own government. In rural areas, the Gram Panchayat is the first tier or level of democratic government. The Panchs and the Gram Panchayat are answerable to the Gram Sabha because it is the members of the Gram Sabha who elected them. This idea of people's participation in the Panchayati Raj system extends to 2 other levels. One is the block level, which is called the Janpad Panchayat or the Panchayat Samiti. The Panchayat Samiti has many Gram Panchayats under it. Above the Panchayat Samiti is the District Panchayat or the Jila Parishad. The Jila Parishad actually makes developmental plans at the district level with the help of Panchayat Samitis. It also regulates the money distribution among all the Gram Panchayats. Within the guidelines given in the constitution, each state in the country has its own laws with regard to Panchayat. The idea is to provide more and more space for people to participate and raise their voices.